Good morning, YouTube. What's up, Sir Spookfest here. So, the other night went and did a live on the beach, and I figured I'd just talk about those shadows that went past. Now, I don't know exactly what that was. I had the flashlight out in front of me. I didn't see anything crawl past. My wife did ask if I saw any crabs crawl past or anything. I didn't notice it. Three times it happened. I only noticed it once. And I was asking, can you see the light? Can you walk through the light? And the Willoughby Spit Shadow Man is an old legend of that beach. So maybe caught something, not really sure. I didn't see anything go in front of the flashlight when I was sitting there. Yeah, another thing. With the two lights over the bridge, I wasn't sure what those were, because usually helicopters and planes, they kind of just do a usual route. Those sat over the bridge for 5-6 minutes, maybe even longer. And then my sister, Spectral Whispers, B, checked the flight radar and said that they weren't showing up on radar. So that was interesting. I'm thinking they might have been military drones, because the big military base is right near here. So just interesting to point them out. Anything odd that happens in a live while I'm investigating, I'm going to show and try and point out. The shadows are definitely a weird one. I don't know what those were. And I do think those were drones, like those big 6-foot drones that we've had over New Jersey, and they weren't moving normally, and even when they did fly away, I didn't notice them moving that fast. They were just kind of hovering. And then last week, we had a sonic boom, a skyquake, whatever you want to call it, and I was just reading more of this mysterious Virginia, so I figured I'd read you the part of sonic booms over Virginia and talk about that, because I was sitting here, I heard a boom, and then my camper door shook. A lot of people reported it in Hampton all the way to Virginia Beach, and the houses shook, windows shook. People actually thought like something blew up, a plane crashed, something exploded. But here's the little story in this book about sonic booms. Seneca guns, or skyquakes, sonic booms, the sounds of the apocalypse, whatever you want to call them. There are no explanations for the noises heard over Virginia. Unusual and unexplained booms are heard around the world. The specific origins of these sounds are unknown. Booming sounds without an obvious source are extremely common. Seismologists investigate the sounds and come from earthquakes despite the ground not shaking. Earthquakes can occur and cause sound. This can account for some of the unexplained sounds. The military is another possible explanation for some of these booms, but not all of them. Planes that can fly so fast that break the sound barrier will create a sonic boom. I've heard that. I've heard the jets go by. It did not seem like that. I would have heard the jet flying over. But you can't account for the reports of the sounds date back to 1824. Although this is a strange apocalyptic booming sound comes from the sky, it could have been earthly origins. However, it is possible the booming sounds come from above. It could be caused by meteors entering the Earth's atmosphere, or not hard to miss flash of a meteor entering Earth's atmosphere. But it is difficult to connect the sound to make due time. It takes sound to travel that far. Another explanation for the sounds could be a shock wave caused by coronal mass ejection from the sun are smashing into Earth's upper atmosphere. In the United States, most reports of these mysterious booming sounds come from along the East Coast. These sounds on the East Coast have not been directly studied or explained. The term Seneca guns, commonly used to refer to the sound heard near Lake Seneca in New York. The Seneca guns are also used in the mysterious booming sounds heard along the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. On January 5th, 2014, WTVR received hundreds of calls about mysterious booms that were being heard across central Virginia. The noise rattles people's homes. The mysterious booms were heard from Chester, southern Chesterfield County, Colonial Heights, and Hopewell. Law enforcement officials, firefighters were called to check. Chesterfield dispatchers said officers called on Sunday afternoon to report an exploding disc. Dispatchers received at least 3 calls before 5:30 p.m. from separate areas in the city of loud noises. Around January 27, 2014, mysterious booms were heard across central Virginia and rattled many homes. Law enforcement and firefighters were called and receiving a number of calls about the booming sounds. The residents of Chesterfield County, Colonial Heights, and Hopewell reported booms. The booms were coming from every 2 to 3 days and sound varied. Somewhat different sounds. Surveillance cameras were checked, but there was no sign of what caused the booms. TV6 confirmed that the sounds did not come from Fort Lee, Fort Pickett, or rock quarries in Dinwiddle or Chesterfield County, or from transformers exploding. On January 19, 2014, residents from Central Virginia made reports about mysterious booms heard in Colonial Heights, Chesterfield County, Prince George, Etterick, Montaka, and Shepherd Stadium, and Sherwood Hills. All these neighborhoods and some residents said this was the time they heard the booms that month. June 10th, 2015, loud booms in the early morning got the attention of residents. The booms were so intense they shook homes. The booms continued for about 10 minutes. This one only lasted maybe a minute that I heard, and my camper door shook, and I didn't really think much of it because of the military helicopters and jets. On April 29, 2019, a loud boom was heard across Hampton Roads area. Reports also came in from Southern Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, so Hampton Roads right down the street from me. Several people reported the hanging pictures on their walls fell off. They contacted the Navy and Air Force Atlantic operations and the offshore, and they could not confirm that an F-18 Super Hornet was the cause of the booms. So these are written about for years now, these sonic booms, and this just happened last week. And I figured I'd talk about all the things that have been going on. Weird shadows, those weird drones. I'm pretty sure those were drones because they didn't show up on flight radar. UAP because they're unidentified. But I don't know. I'm going to be doing more investigating soon. I will try that beach again, and I'm going to go to Fort Monroe and St. John's Church and Graveyard. That one is from 1610. Hopefully get out in the woods, maybe go to some battlefields. Very interesting stuff that I've been catching, and I just have to put it out there and show it. I don't know what it was. I didn't see a crab crawl in front of the flashlight. It wasn't from me. I was behind the camera and I was sitting cross-legged. I had nothing in front of the camera, so flashlight. So I don't know what those fast shadows were. But I hope you guys enjoy. Have a great day. I'll be back with more. And listen out for some booms. I guess it happens all over the world. Weird sky quakes. Peace out, people. I'll be back with more.